Alright, so time to update the tier list. And we have chat here to question my every decision. That's gonna be great. We have 5 new characters to rank. And yes, I do think that the 3 new characters should be considered new because the buffs were so tremendous that they might as well be considered new. And I do hope that more characters end up receiving buffs like these, right? But first, I'm gonna make some adjustments for characters that are already here. The game, especially with the release of Red Tarmiel, has changed, I feel like, a good amount. And some characters should really be moved around. First off, Red DN is just... it's just Red DN. Red DN might actually go... she's the best thing in the game now. Like, Red DN might actually just be the best thing in the game now. She might as well be. So, I'm definitely putting her up. In terms of the PvE list, Red Tarmiel doesn't really change much for here. But for the PvP list, she surely should be going around. And I think I'm going to put down Blue Tarmiel. Blue Tarmiel, I think his relic could have been much better. And it could have really helped him if he had like a much better relic. But on the Goddess team, you're much better off honestly using Red Tarmiel. So I'll put him in sub-meta. He's still very good. But I think that if they didn't really miss the mark on that relic, it could have really been great for him, but that relic is not very good. Red Galfer should most definitely go up. Red Galfer is questionably, honestly, better than Green Galfer at this point in the game. I kind of want to put down Green Galfer. Green Galfer is just, like right now, there are so many characters in the game that just work so much better with other characters of the same race. That it's not like back in the day where you could have Green Galfer and you could wait like 5 turns for his passive to keep going up and oh, now you're very strong. The attack seal for Red Galfer is just so much better. And Green Galfer teams are just basically Green Galfer, Kyo, King. That's basically the only team that releases Green Galfer. And honestly, it's just not something that I would consider meta anymore in this stage in PvP. But Green Galfer is still a very good unit, so I wouldn't just put it like super down. Margaret is still very meta. The ult rush with Margaret is fantastic. With Margaret plus DN plus Trader Melee or Rimroo is probably the best team in the game. Like I would say. I'm putting down Elaine. Elaine plus King was a really good, really good team that just got ultra cocked by Tarmiel's release. Now you can't double attack with King anymore, basically, and that just really did not help him. I still want to keep King there because King by himself, without any help of Elaine, is still like just a tremendous unit. That shield is so good, and you can also just use him for the ult rush, but having to double attack with King is just not really viable anymore. Rem with Unknown being probably the second best team in the game, I feel confident in just putting her up because you kind of really want her for the 4th slot there. I really wanted to move up. Where is it? Green Merlin. Green Merlin is the essential 4th for the ult rush team, which again I think is the best team in the game. DN with Tarmiel Link. She has to have Tarmiel Link. She doesn't have Tarmiel Link, might as well not even run her. DN with Tarmiel Link, Margaret and Trader Melee or Rimroo plus Merlin is everything you face now on JP at least. It's honestly terrible. Don't worry. When Red Tarmiel releases on SSR tickets, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be every single person running it. Could put Chandler down. Someone in chat said Chandler really should be here. I think I could put him down. Assault Melee is just not a very runnable team, and honestly, where else would you run him, really? Other than Assault Melee. That could also go for Kusok, I guess, but I think Kusok can still be a runnable good character for facing bonds, which are still super predominant. But I would put him down. I think it can go either way here. Some other characters that could be... someone in chat said Liz. I think Liz could go up. Liz with the sort of like same ult rush with Diane and Trader Mally or Rimroo. Very annoying to face, and I've been seeing it quite a lot actually right now. So for PvP, that's been sort of like a sub-meta thing you see people running with. And I think that's it for old characters. Now looking at the new characters, Rimroo is the easiest. He's absolutely stupid. He's like, I want to say part of the best team in the game, and part of the second best team in the game, which would be Unknown. The best team in the game being like the Ult Rush of DN, and the second best team being the Unknown team. Is just nasty. He's nasty. He hits so hard. They strategically released Tarmiel right before Rimroo, or Rimroo right after Tarmiel, with that ceiling for Tarmiel's heal. There's no chance they didn't do it on purpose, because it's way too much of a coincidence that Tarmiel releases. He is the best Link in the game. Every single, like, I don't know how Global is playing right now, but JP stream can like tell. Every single person I face has Tarmiel Link. Like, there's not a single person I face that doesn't have him. Like, it's insane, right? And the Rimroo sealing the Tarmiel Link is very big. That's why one of the big points for Merlin as well. Having the sealing card for the heal, it's big. So they definitely did it on purpose. Shuna, I really want to put her up here. I think that she can make part of the good Unknown team, but it could go either way. With the Unknown team, you could either run with Shuna, or just run like Emilia and Blue Merlin, and it could go either way. I think Shuna can be very, very useful for cleansing, specific, like if the enemy just debuffs you once, I guess. And the extra pierce. The damage reduction is good. Only because of Rimroo, I'm giving her such a high grading. Because as a unit by herself, I think she doesn't have much going for her. The fact that she runs so well with Rimroo is the reason why she's going up so high. But, you know, she's very good. If you pull her from the banner, she's definitely a character that if you pull Rimroo, you kind of want to have her. But if you pull her without Rimroo, you're kind of screwed. Yeah. Benny Maru is very good, but I wouldn't call him sub-meta. He's very good. Like, when he works, he's really good. You can see, like, I did, like, yesterday. I used him with, like, Red Slater. And, you know, seeing him slice was really nice, but that's just very specific. And in practical game, it's not going to happen very often that it's actually going to really work. But, you know, he's kind of like Red Shin. But I feel like Red Shin's a bit better, and I would actually put Red Shin up. I think Red Shin is just a little bit better than Benny Maru. Because it actually guarantees his crits. And I think Benny Maru can work pretty well. If not for the... I think that what they should have done for Benny Maru, and that would have actually made him 10 times better, is, you know, they buffed his passive, which is really good. They buffed his stats, and they gave him a Holy Relic that actually made sense with him. You know, attacking debuffed characters is basically what he wants because he has a weak point. This card sucks balls. Debuffing the enemy's defense with his stats, in theory, is really good, but in practice just doesn't really work at all. This card right here should have been buffed to seal stuff as well. If this card was lower the defense and like seal anything, man, like buff cards, debuff cards, attack would have been too strong, but seal something, and or even do damage. If this card did like minimal damage, like anything, it would have been great for him. But this card just sucks balls, unfortunately. And that's honestly his downfall. This card, it stacks up on your hand because you never really want to use it, right? CO stances wouldn't be the worst because then you cock the N. Oh, that would have actually been pretty good for him. But yeah, anything, CO anything, right? But that would have been great for him, but this card just is his downfall. It really is. This card just sucks. And again, you have like, you end up with like 3 or 4 of his cards in your hand, right? And like, they're so bad. Anyways, so that's his downfall, but he's fun. I really loved using him, but like, I need to be objective, right? I don't think he's really all that good. He's still good though. Reberu is a shame. He's the worst of all, and I think he is usable, but he's not very good. He is a stance character that doesn't give himself any damage reduction, any defense, any boost on his HP. He doesn't give himself anything. He just taunts, and that just doesn't cut it. That just does not cut it for him. He just takes way too much damage. And I guess they went with that for like his Holy Relic, because it takes so much damage. The more damage that you take, you end up doing more damage with his Holy Relic. But what ends up happening is his Holy Relic is super nonsensical, because the less HP he has, the more damage he does. But guess what? He heals the next turn with his stance card. The next turn, the beginning of the turn, he heals. So you really don't see any of this Holy Relic play out at all. It's just unfortunate. He's usable, but just not anything great. And Milim is a hard one. When she works, she really looks good. I think that she is better than Maru, but she's still not something that I would see like, oh, if I saw her in PvP, I would be like scared, right? She looks impressive when you use her, and she really is. Like, I think out of the 3 OG characters, she got the biggest of all buffs. Like, she was the worst. I think of the 3 OG characters, she was just the worst. She didn't hit hard. She took a lot of damage. Her cards were terrible. Everything about her was really bad. And honestly, right now, when we get to the PvE side of the list, I'm going to be ranking her much higher. But she hits really hard. She still takes a lot of damage, but she just hits really hard. And that's good. You know, that's really good. The only problem is that she needs a lot of setup. And honestly, they released Rimroo with her. And Rimroo is a complete counter to her, because she gives herself buffs through her relic. Cool, right? But then he removes it every turn. So what was the point? So yeah, and every single person you face has Rimroo. it just has. Like, Rimroo just came out, and everyone's gonna be running him. Maybe in a few months, when less people use Rimroo, maybe the meta goes back to being more red. There's a lot of people running Ban, and against Ban, she actually works pretty decent. Again, with her setup, but just way too many people are now running Rimroo, and he's gonna get frustrated, because not only Rimroo has type advantage over her, he removes her buffs every single turn. But well, that was the PvP side. I don't think I forgot anyone that I wanted to rank up or down. If I said anything before chat and I forgot to do it during the recording here, let me know, but I don't think I forgot. So we're going to move on to the PvE side. The PvE side is interesting because the way my PvE list, I kind of want to reform it, but I really rank high Demonic Beast Battle characters, because Demonic Beast Battle is the only actual challenging PvE activity, right? Super Boss needs specific teams. Tower is like, you know, again, needs like super specific and it's like gimmicky teams. Just random boss stages, they're not hard, right? This is the only like actual challenging thing. So when I say that like Milim goes all the way at the top of the tier list, I wanna clarify that she is very good in PvE. She hits very hard. If she can crit the boss, she out DPS's the one easily. The only thing the one has over her is his ultimate. His ultimate is way better, but in terms of cards, she out DPS's the one easily on any boss that she can crit. And if she can't crit, the one can't crit either, because she has a higher crit chance than him. So I think for Demonic Beast Battle, I personally have been liking using her more than the one, especially for Deer. And she's basically the one that hits harder, but again with a worse ultimate. So there's a give or take there. If you have a 6-6 the one is probably better than Milim, but if you have a 1-6 the one, I think a 1-6 Milim might be better. It really depends on how many upgraded cosmetics are for her, because for Milim you're going to be able to get 4 weapons for her for free. One of her weapons is actually paid, and I don't know if they're going to allow you to actually buy with gems afterwards, so you're going to have to see what happens there. But with the one, you might have him already built. I don't know. It's going to be down to you. But Milim is just so good. Other placements, PvE just hasn't really changed much, honestly, to the point where I would change other people's placements, really. PvP is a game mode that really like surfaces characters a lot, and people go up and down more often. But PvE, it's like, what has really changed in the past month or so? Like, really, nothing. So, I guess I'll just go back to ranking the new characters. Rimroo. I want to say Rimroo is also up here, because for every type of PvE content, he hits very hard. The only issue for me is that for demonic beast battles, I just didn't really like him as much as running just honestly anyone else. He does do damage on phase 4 of Bird on the first floor, so that's good. Not very high damage, but he does damage. He's just generally very good. Again, really difficult to rank when really the only hard activity in the game is demonic beast battle. For raids, he doesn't really work well on any of them. I kind of want to put him down. I'm just rethinking this. I kind of want to put him down. For PvE, he's just kind of a hard hitter. He just doesn't really have any activity that he's really good for, because for Belmoth, he's worse than Grindarriere and Zarathus. Way worse. Zarathus is way better, right? He's worse than them. And he's just a generally good character. So I think this ranking is fair for him. He's much better suited for PvP. I think Shuna also goes up here. Shuna can be very good for heal and her cleanse. And for every single person, every single time I'm streaming, someone asks, can you use Shuna over Zaneri on Belmoth? And yes, you can. She works. She cleanses. So she's a good replacement for Zaneri. I would say that, for Belmoth, she might end up being the more used character. Because for Belmoth, Zaneri is used to just cleanse the debuff, and that's it. But she can cleanse and she gives pierce, so I don't know. Red Dairy has one good use case. Red Dairy is just a very outdated character. She's good for like one thing, so that's why. She's good for guild boss basically. But she's not very good, very good for anything other specific. For demonic beast battle, she's trash. And other than guild boss, like what else? Really, like she only has one attack card. That's why. But Rimroo, now for the one thing she does, she's really good. Maru. I didn't really put much thought into Maru. I think I would put him like alongside like Red Shin. I think they're just very similar. Other than the fact that I think Red Shin's a bit better. But Maru's, he can be used. For sure, he can be used. And Rimroo, oh man, I wanna put him here, but I would actually be very dishonest. Like, he's not very good. Like, it's unfortunate. They buffed him, and there's just not much that he does. Like, unless somehow there's like a Guild Wars strategy that Rimroo will be good for because of his increased defense with his stats per turn, I don't know what else it would be really good for. Like, really, like, Rimroo just doesn't do enough. His card doesn't do damage. His stance lasts for only one turn, where other characters that taunt, like Diane and Matrona and Green Diane taunt for much longer, you know, with one taunt card. I don't know. They could have given him a better buff, I feel like. And again, if his relic was better, it could have been really good for him. There's just not much going on with him, and unfortunately, there's not much. There's not really any place that I would say he's really good for. The double damage against buff is a really weird card because really it don't actually double your damage, because like I've tested the card. You do 1.5 times, you don't actually do 2 times. So it's like, it's just not a very good card, even when the enemy does have buffs. Casting for the Prime, he's just kind of bad, but that's the updated list. I will only re-update this after the anniversary, so who knows? The PvP side could be completely changed depending on how good the anniversary character is. It really could. If the anniversary character completely shifts the game, but we'll have to see. I hope Trading Melly comes back for anniversary. I think at least his coin should be purchasable for anniversary, I hope. It should be, because Diane came out, and that anniversary would be the second festival after Melly, you know, left. So, anyways.